Hey guys, let me ask you a question. Do you find yourself struggling to separate yourself from your competition? Are you sort of in the middle of the pack with everybody else? And if you could just get noticed, you could kill it, right? Hey, my name is Tim O'Brien, and my company, The Person to See, specializes in working with professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs on strategies to help them differentiate themselves from the rest of the pack, all with an eye towards positioning themselves as the person to see with their target audience. You know, when my clients come to me, you know, they're usually frustrated because their products and services are pretty good, and they're willing to work really, really hard, but they sort of just, they're stuck amongst the crowd. You know, they can't really get noticed, and every day they get up, it's push, push, push. And it really sort of wears them out. It's what I call the hamster wheel syndrome. You know, you hop on that hamster wheel and you're running. At some point in time, you can't run any faster. And then the consequences, that is, everything becomes predictable. Your income becomes predictable. Your daily activities become predictable. You sort of just drain all of your energy. You know, where you were hoping to be energized by what you do, is sort of getting worn down. And as a consequence, really, you're not able to do the things that you wanted to do or buy the things you wanted to buy. You know, you don't have that freedom and that independence that you want. You want to get that house, right? To upgrade your house, but you can't take that chance because you just don't know if you can make the mortgage payment. Or you can't send your kids to private school because what if I can't make that tuition payment, right? And so as a result, you look around and you see other people doing what you're doing, just killing it. And you're thinking to yourself, what's wrong with me? Like, what's wrong with me that I can't get that? All of that you want is just beyond your grasp. I don't know if those feelings resonate with you, but they do with me. Unfortunately, guys, it was me for far too long. And here's what I found are the two reasons why that occurs. The first reason is the scarcity mindset, right? Is people aren't willing to make the investment in the resources that they need to differentiate themselves. When they think about spending money, it's an expense as opposed to an investment. And so they say, well, I'll just keep, you know, my money with me. I'll hoard it, right? Because if I spend it, I'll lose it and I'll have less of it. Well, the consequence of that is that you're not investing in resources that can really accelerate your growth. The second reason is people get in their minds, you know, a professional pride. They don't want to let people know what they don't know. So as a result, they just sort of remain quiet and they continue to do the same old thing over and over and over again. You know, at some point in time, like I said, you can't be any more efficient. You can't be any more smart. You can't run any faster. And so you sort of get bogged down in that pack, if you will. So here's what I want to do. I want to offer you a couple of ideas to think about that I think can help you differentiate yourself right away from the rest of your competition. Number one is when I talk about differentiation, I want you to think of uniqueness. Right? I want you to think of something that makes you unique. But this is really super important. I don't want to put pressure on you to come up with like the Google algorithm or the Coca-Cola recipe. You don't have to be one in a class. You can just be one of a few. So you want to start to think about how you can package yourself in a way that puts you in somewhat of a subclass, if you will, right? Where if there's 100 people in your industry, you're one of 10. Or if there's 1,000, you're one of 100. But the key is do not try to put the pressure on yourself to be the only one that does what you do. Because the likelihood of you doing that is small or absolutely nothing. Now guys, second thing I want you to think about is you got to be able to pitch your unique selling proposition. Once you come up with it, you got to be able to articulate it. And you got to be able to deliver that with a lot of confidence and a lot of clarity. And there's three parts that you want to focus on. First are your services. It goes back to, you don't have to come up with the Google algorithm, right? You don't have to come up with a Coca-Cola recipe, but you got to come up with something that really differentiates you to some degree. Next, you want to focus on your results. What's some results that you produce that you're really proud of, that really stand out? And number three is you got to focus on yourself. You know, what makes you unique? This is hard for a lot of people, but if you're not excited about you, why should anybody else be excited about you? And here's the third point I want to make. When we communicate, 7% of what we're communicating is through the words we use. 93% is our tone of voice and our body language. That's why we don't have to come up with the Google algorithm. We come up with something that we feel like just sort of differentiates us just a little bit, and we're in our minds on it and we have super confidence about it. it's gonna be really, really impactful. So those three things, if you put those into play, I think you're gonna find you'll differentiate yourself really pretty quickly from your competition. And if you continue to work on those, that separation will be more and more. Now guys, I hope you got some value out of this video, and in order to keep our relationship going and me to be a great resource for you, I set up a Facebook group called The Person to See. And if you look down in the comment section there's the link there. I want you to click on that and join the group. Got a couple of awesome freemiums waiting there for you right now. One is my ebook, The 5 Steps to Selecting the Right Personal Brand for You. And the other one is a personal branding quiz. It's really awesome. You take that quiz, it's going to give you a real-time assessment of the impact of your personal brand with your target audience. Is it positive, negative, or neutral? So click on that link below, join the group, download those resources, and get to work right now, guys, because it's all about attracting more prospects, closing more deals, so we can start living that life that we've always dreamed of living. Hope you got some value from this video, and I'll see you in the group.